Hello everyone, welcome back to Brain Boost. Today, we're diving into the life of one of Nepal's most remarkable football talents, Bimal Gharti Magar. His journey from a small village in rural Nepal to competing on an international level is a story of hope, ambition, and the sometimes harsh realities of professional sports. In today's video, we'll explore the incredible highs and heartbreaking lows that have marked Bimal's career. From early success to the struggles he faced later on, we'll see how his journey both inspires and teaches us valuable lessons about perseverance, fame, and what it truly means to represent your country. So, let's jump in and get to know the journey of Bimal Gharti Magar. Segment 1. Humble Beginnings. Bimal Gharti Magar was born on January 26, 1998, in the small village of Budahai in Nawalparasi, Nepal. Growing up in a modest household, his journey into football was rooted in family. Bimal's father, Bimal Magar, was also a footballer, although he only played locally. It was Hum who introduced his young son to football, sharing his love for the game and encouraging Bimal to dream big. Tragically, Hum's dream of watching Bimal represent Nepal was cut short. He passed away in a motorbike accident before Bimal would go on to achieve the success his father had envisioned for him. This loss became a driving force for Bimal, and with his father's memory close to his heart, he committed himself fully to pursuing a career in football. Bimal's talent shone through even in his early years. Like many children in Nepal, he learned to play on the streets, using makeshift balls and playing in any open space he could find. These humble beginnings cultivated his skills, and it was clear to everyone who saw him play that Bimal was special. His natural talent was undeniable. His footwork, vision, and ability to read the game were impressive even as a child. Soon enough, local scouts and coaches took notice of the young prodigy who had the drive and raw talent to make it far beyond his village. Segment 2. A promising future in Nepal. Bimal's big break came when he represented his school, but while elite English school, in the Subroto Cup in New Delhi. His performance there was so impressive that the All Nepal Football Association ANFA selected him to join the ANFA Academy in Butwal. This was an incredible achievement for Bimal, who was just a young boy with big dreams at the time. Later that year, during the AFCU 14 Football Festival, ANFA recognized his immense talent and moved him to the Central ANFA Academy, where his skills would continue to develop under the guidance of Nepal's best coaches. In 2012, Bimal's career took another leap forward during the AFCU 14 Football Festival, where he scored 8 goals, including a stunning hat trick against Sri Lanka's U14 team. His performance was electrifying, and fans in Nepal began to take notice of this new star. Soon, Bimal made history as one of the youngest players to represent Nepal's national team when he was only 14 years old. Nepal's national team coach, Krishna Thapa, was impressed with Bimal's maturity and skill at such a young age, saying, "He is very young, and he played well in his first match. I can't expect more from him in his first international game." Nepal had long been in search of a football star who could elevate the sport's profile in the country. When Bimal stepped onto the field for his first match, there was a new sense of hope among Nepalese fans. Here was a player with the potential to not only lead Nepal's national team, but to bring international attention to Nepali football. Segment 3. The rise to stardom. As Bimal's career progressed, his performances continued to captivate fans and draw the attention of football clubs outside of Nepal. By the time he was 16, Bimal was known across South Asia, and scouts from European clubs started to show interest. His performances in the SAF Championship and AFC competitions were widely praised, and the potential he displayed seemed limitless. In November 2013, Bimal Gharti Magar received an exciting invitation for a 2-week trial with Dutch club FC Twente. During a friendly match against HSC 21's U19 team, Bimal made a big impression, scoring 4 goals and assisting in another. The match ended in a dominant 9-0 victory for Twente's U16 team, and Bimal's performance caught the attention of the coaching staff. However, due to employment laws and FIFA regulations on youth transfers, Twente was unable to sign him at just 16, despite being very impressed with his skills. Around this time, rumors also surfaced linking Bimal to clubs like Manchester United and Lierse SK, showing just how much international interest there was in this young Nepali talent. This was a monumental opportunity for a young player from Nepal, as it gave him exposure to the European style of play, as well as the discipline and intensity required at that level. Then, in early 2014, Bimal was granted a Belgian visa for another round of trials, this time with the Belgian club Anderlecht's U16 squad. In addition to the trials, he also participated in 3 youth tournaments: the Aegon Future Cup, the 10 Brink Boo tournament, and the Noonan tournament, where he gained valuable experience playing against Europe's best young talents. Both his trials with FC Twente and Anderlecht were arranged with the help of René Koster, a former coach for the Bangladesh U17 team who saw Bimal's potential and worked to open doors for him in Europe. Finally, on June 8, 2014, Bimal signed a 1-year contract with Anderlecht's U19 squad. ANFA, Nepal's Football Association, announced that Anderlecht would cover all his expenses, and the deal officially began on July 26, 2014, extending through May 2015.
Bimal's first tournament with Anderlecht was the Copa del Agatha in the Netherlands, where he scored 2 goals, helping Anderlecht reach the final. Although they finished as runners-up, losing to Atletico Paranaense, Bimal had already made a mark. Unfortunately, a minor injury kept him out of the 2014 Arten Cup, but Bimal's time with Anderlecht was a pivotal experience in his journey and provided a glimpse of the high level of competition and training in Europe. A year later, in 2014, the renowned Belgian club Anderlecht offered him a trial. This was a big moment for Nepali football, as Bimal became the first Nepali player to be considered by a top European club. His trial at Anderlecht went well, and he was eventually offered a 1-year deal to join their under-19 squad, marking a huge step forward in his career. Bimal's success was inspiring not just to fans, but to countless young Nepali players who now saw that it was possible for a player from Nepal to make it to Europe. But Bimal didn't stop there. In 2015, he received a 2-month trial with Genk, another Belgian club, and later continued his journey with Club Brugge. His move to these Belgian clubs showed just how much potential he had, as these clubs rarely took interest in players from Nepal. In 2014, Bimal also signed with Mohun Bagan, one of India's most successful football clubs, marking his first significant move to play in the I-League. This was a massive accomplishment for both Bimal and Nepali football, as it placed a Nepali player on a prominent stage in South Asia. Segment 4, the height of his career. During the peak of his career, Bimal was unstoppable. His speed, agility, and impressive ball control made him a fan favorite, and his ability to score from almost any position on the field made him a versatile attacker. Fans began to call him the magician for his extraordinary dribbling skills and playmaking abilities. Bimal's future looked bright, and it seemed like he was on a path to lead Nepal to new heights in football. With each international match, Bimal's reputation grew, and he became the face of Nepal's national team. He inspired a new generation of young players and became a symbol of hope for Nepalese football fans. His performances in the SAF Championship and AFC competitions solidified his status as one of the top footballers in South Asia. As a forward, Bimal had a unique playing style that combined agility with precision, making him a constant threat to opposing teams. He quickly became the player that fans counted on to make the difference on the field. Segment 5, the challenges begin. But as with many athletes, Bimal's journey wasn't all smooth sailing. Despite his success, he began to struggle with recurring injuries, particularly with his knee and muscle issues, which would eventually become a significant obstacle in his career.
The strain from high-level play began to take a toll on his body, and these injuries forced him to take time off from the game. While he tried to bounce back, the constant injuries affected his ability to stay consistent and hindered his growth as a player. Around this time, the international opportunities also started to dwindle. Clubs that once showed interest were now hesitant to sign a player with recurring injuries. Bimal eventually found himself back in Nepal's domestic league, playing for clubs like Mashindra FC, Chitwan FC. The dream of playing for top European clubs started to fade as he struggled to maintain his form and regain his peak performance. Segment 6. Public criticism and reflecting on his journey. As his form declined, Bimal faced growing criticism from fans and the media. Many supporters were disappointed, feeling that he hadn't fulfilled the potential they had once seen in him. The pressure weighed heavily on Bimal, who who had become a symbol of hope for Nepali football fans. His career, which had once seemed so promising, now seemed uncertain. Nepal's national team continued to face challenges, and as one of the team's most visible players, Bimal's performances were increasingly scrutinized. In interviews, Bimal has been candid about the challenges he faced, the frustration of dealing with injuries, and the lessons he learned from the ups and downs of his career. He has expressed gratitude for the opportunities he had, but also acknowledged the difficulties of living up to the expectations that come with fame. Recently, Bimal made the decision to move to Australia to build a more stable future for himself and his family. He shared a heartfelt message about this choice, explaining that it was made with love for his country and a desire to provide for his loved ones. In his message, he reflected on the challenges he faced, saying, "Life is full of ups and downs. With age comes greater responsibility." Bimal's decision to move to Australia reflects his dedication to both his family and his future, while his heart remains close to Nepali football. In gratitude, he acknowledged Chitwan FC for giving him the chance to play as an iconic player in the Nepal Super League. Though his career may have taken a different path, his influence on Nepali football remains strong. His story continues to inspire young players, showing them that with talent, dedication, and resilience, even a player from a small village in Nepal can make it onto the international stage. Bimal Gharti Magar's journey in football may have been filled with both triumphs and setbacks, but his impact on the game and on young players in Nepal is undeniable. His story reminds us of the power of perseverance, the realities of professional sports, and the courage it takes to pursue a dream in the face of challenges. We thank Bimal for the joy and pride he brought to Nepali football and wish him all the best in his future.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more content on inspiring athletes, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.